Euphoria is gross. It's just the kind of show that makes you feel icky. I feel dirty watching it, like I'm doing something wrong. And lots of people I've spoken to about it kind of think the same thing. But why? What is it about this show that's just so... I don't even know really where to begin with this, so I guess I'll just start with why I'm watching the show in the first place. I liked this show. I remember really liking the first season when it came out and really liking that one COVID diner episode. You know, it had a really unique visual style, and granted I was younger when it came out, I was in college back then, but I just appreciated how kind of unique it was. You know, I thought Zendaya did a great job with her narration, and pacing-wise, it kept me interested throughout. I didn't really focus on the fact that they were all high schoolers, but, you know, it's fine. It just had kind of an energy to it, you know? It felt different. And then season 2 came out, and it was terrible. Minus that one Rue episode following her as her life falls apart, running from the cops and ending up in a dumpster. Other than that, the bulk of season 2 was, and I do not say this lightly, cringe. Which seems about par for the course for Sam Levinson's work.
Let me catch you looking at her again. Let me catch you looking at her again. Let me catch you looking at her again. I'm sorry. Let me catch you looking at her. I can drag you down right there. I'm sorry, I don't...
Levinson seems like a fucking creep. His work seems gross, and from what I've heard of him personally, he should have never been given the opportunity to make a show, should go back to suckling on his dad's teat, and then when he's done with that, he can go fuck himself. Every now and then in this video, I will say a nice thing about the show because there are things I like about this show, specifically this season. I shall mention them sporadically when I feel like we could use a little positive pick-me-up, you know? We don't want to get too negative around here. Kind of like a compliment sandwich, if the sandwich had a few thin slices of bread in between a stack of mostly cold cuts. So I powered through and kept watching for the love of the game, and the word I can best use to describe the show as it is now is icky. I feel icky watching it. It's like the type of show that your parents would walk in on you watching and think you're some sort of pervert. The show revels in sex, drugs, and nudity, which isn't the problem. That's the world it's attempting to portray here, and that's fine, but it's the way this stuff is presented that's just, ugh. This show looks nice. I like the nature shots of the West Coast. Basically, this season is a string of characters degrading themselves further and further. The characters spend a lot of the show very separated from each other and each selling their souls over and over again in one way or another until any shred of likability that any of them had is completely gone. I used to like Maddy, for example, and I like the idea of her becoming this self-made boss bitch type character, becoming like an internet influencer OnlyFans pimp. But the way she gets there is just screwing everyone over more and more. She's petty and vindictive. It makes her come up just not fun to watch. And let me get one thing straight. Zendaya carries this show. I care about Rue. I want her to be okay. Her story is interesting, moves at a good pace, and had me genuinely worried to see how she'd get out of the situation she got herself in. It feels like a natural progression from where she was in high school. And she might be the only character I like. This season follows Rue working at a strip club, because of course it does, getting sucked deeper and deeper into this world of drug trade, confidential informants, and putting crack up your ass. I think that's crack, whatever it is. Maybe I like her because she seems to be the only character to escape the creepy gaze of Sam Levinson on this whole show. Rue's never shot exploitatively, shown to do any crass and pointless embarrassing stuff, or in her underwear for no reason, which cannot be said for literally anyone else in this program. This fucking show. The whole show kind of feels like one of those coworkers you have where he's kind of like an older guy, he's married, he's got kids, but he tells you this story that just gets grosser and grosser. Yeah, you know, this chick was doing this to me, and then I grabbed her over here, and she did that, and you're just kind of sitting there waiting for it to end. Hunter Schafer is a talented performer. Too bad this season gives her nothing to do. Like I said, there are things I like about this season. Visually, I like the lean into more western-y language. I think it's edited well, and the music was really good, though I do obviously miss the score from the first 2 seasons by Labyrinth. You know, that fucking Jacob Elordi is a talented actor. He is in some good movies. Nate Jacobs is the fucking worst. He might get it worst of all this season. We spend so long seeing his decline that it's just pointless suffering. And the big problem with the show is that the show thinks it's fucking hilarious. Like, torturing horrible characters for hours on end is the funniest fucking thing in the world. Nate and Cassie's wedding night gets ruined, and Cassie's there screaming and crying and wondering, why me? Showing no care or concern for Nate outside of what this will mean for her and her money situation. And I know that's the character, but like, I don't like Nate either. Over and over again, it's just characters whoring themselves out in one way or another, but the show revels in their suffering in a way that makes me feel like Sam Levinson Levinson is just off camera watching his monitor, beating off to all this misery he's created. Another thing is that this show is like the least sexy thing I've ever seen, which in a show about Sydney Sweeney becoming a porn star is honestly an achievement. Speaking of, I don't like Sydney Sweeney as an actor for no other reason than I just haven't seen her give a good performance in anything I've seen in a long time. I think for a minute there she was picking some interesting projects, but I just didn't like her in those either.
Oh my goodness, okay.
And The Housemaid, Jesus.
I told you to run.
Can't run. On parole, remember?
I don't know why I thought she was gonna keep her shirt on during this movie. She's almost one of those celebrities that's like famous for being famous, only she acts too, you know? I mean, look, it's really not as bad as I'm making it out to be. There is a lot of quality put into this show. There's so much talent here, performance-wise. I mean, obviously, Coleman Domingo's a standout. Alexa Demi, Jacob Elordi, like, these are some talented names. But I think with the season, you're really feeling the loss of some major hitters on this show, like Angus Cloud, unfortunately, and Barbie Ferreira. And dude, the guy that plays Alamo Brown, oh my god, I recognize him from Lost. Adewale Akinoye Agbaje. Jesus Christ. Such a talented dude. Checkmate, Mr. Echo. He was also in Suicide Squad. Okay. Who among us is without sin? But like, there's some legit talent here, and it's really frustrating to see so much potential with these characters and these performances just kind of pissed away on a show like this. And it's a shame because a lot of the stuff that Rue is going through is legit interesting. The problem is that's where all the interesting shit is. Zendaya is too good for this show. I'm sure she feels some sort of obligation to Levinson for helping boost her up earlier in her career, but she's above this kind of thing. And without her, this show would just be another gross, icky, depraved, needlessly disgusting thing that Sam Levinson shit out in between bouts of harassing female actors and writing more underage sex scenes. Anyway, it's not often I feel such a strong reaction to something I'm watching, good or bad, so I thought this was worth the time to talk about. Overall, I'd like this show to end, please. Let's take back what it means to be an HBO original, you know? Get that quality back up. Like, does this deserve to be on the same pedestal as, like, prime Game of Thrones? I don't think so. Either way, I got about halfway through this most current season, and after feeling myself slipping pretty bad toward the middle of the previous season, only propped back up by that one Rue episode, I think I'm done here. I don't want to see these characters just slide deeper and deeper into the sludge of their lives. And I don't want to support Sam Levinson's weird collection of fetishes masking as a TV program. So, it's a shame, but I think Euphoria and I are donezo. Onion rings. I like the little title card things they do at the beginning of every episode. I think it's kind of cool. It's yellow. Look at that. But what did you think about Euphoria? Have you seen Sam Levinson's other great works like Malcolm and Marie, The Idol, other weird self-insert, self-indulgent shit? Let me know. Check out my other stuff, and I'll see you next time.
Checkmate, Mr. Echo.